Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Today I want to talk about me, a personal perspective on the Serge setup and swing for the Serge. Now, many of you have been with me for a number of years, have known that in the last couple of years I've had an issue with hitting some hosel rockets. All right. So anybody who doesn't know what a hosel rocket is, the ball hits the hosel, and if I'm trying to hit the ball right there, it goes that way. All right. There's another ugly word for it that starts with an S. Okay. And I would occasionally hit those, and it really drove me crazy as to why it was coming. And unfortunately, you almost never know when it's going to happen. And lo and behold, I figured it out about a couple months ago, and I haven't hit one in at least a couple months or more since I figured it out. And it all comes down to posture. Now again, you know the statement for posture is the setup determines the motion. All right? And so the definition of posture is we have to get into an athletically ready position. That's ready. My weight's in my arches. I'm sitting here, standing here with my weight directly in my arches, probably equally in my arches right here between the back of the ball pad and the front of the heel pad. That would be the same position of a baseball player in the field, a tennis player waiting for serve, a defensive football player standing in front of a offensive guy, and he's like this, and you're ready because you can now know you don't know where the ball's going to be served to you in tennis, you don't know where the ball's going to be hit to you in baseball, and you don't know where that guy in front of you is going to run to the right, to the left, or straight at you. But from this position, you're down, you're low, you got flexation in your knees, your weight's in your arches, you've got good angles up, and when you get that proper 30-degree spine angle tilt, Armstrong called it 30 degrees angles of everything. Leaf at 30 degrees, and angles from the hip to the knees, knees to the hips, hips to the shoulders, 30 degrees. And you'd be in here, you're standing tall, your head's staying at a straight angle to your spine, head's not down, right? That's why we can't wear bifocals. You know, I just had to throw that in. And so when you bend over, your head stays level, you can't ever let it collapse down. And when you stand here, the key is to good posture is sort of like you just put your finger on your belt buckle, push yourself out a little, and your hips should go out so that your butt's sticking out a little bit, and you got maybe a little curvature right here at the space of your back. Now you're standing here, and then the hips are out. You're in a good solid position. Now where I got in trouble is I was kind of walking in, instead of being like this, instead of being like this out and tall, I started getting to a point where I was like this. Now look what the difference. Look at the difference in that spine angle. Here my spine's under me. It's over here. My hands are hanging straight down with my arms directly over my toes. When I come in here and kind of walk in this way, look where my hands are hanging down. They're hanging down basically right on top of my knees. So if I'm standing in here and I'm in here, and now and I'm kind of in here with, so to speak, I like to describe it, my hips and my butt are kind of like stuck under me a little bit, stuck under me, rather than push a bar stool away. I'm actually pull myself away from it, and I'm hanging in here. And now what happens? If I move into the ball, bam, I'm in too close. My knees and my hands are coming really close to probably banging in each other, and I can't really release the club fast enough, and that thing's coming in, and I'm basically going to hit it in the heel. And if you get it far enough into the heel where it catches the hosel, and you get enough hosel like you have with wedges through 7 irons and 6 irons, that thing could just go rocket to the right for a right-hander. And those aren't very nice shots. So the key is posture. Now, I found when I finally figured this out, part of what I was having was, I always have, when I play well, I always feel that when I'm swinging back down, my hands are coming in under my neck. But to do that, basically my spine angle and my neck's going to be out somewhere kind of towards my toes. All right, not back here under almost the middle of my foot. So when I get it there and I'm up, now I've got a really pure lift. Here, I couldn't really lift that good because if I lifted too much, I was in trouble losing my balance. So I had problems with balance and everything. So once I get in this position, I can just lift it straight up. And as I come back down, my hands are coming down more under my neck. It's giving me much more solid contacts, better trajectories, and naturally, I'm hitting the ball with a better launch angle and much more solid and much more in a tighter flight pattern. Okay? But the big thing I want to finally say in this about this posture, which is what you have to have, that athletically ready posture. To stand here and stand up, and there's your posture, right? Okay? Is that there's one place I still find myself getting I don't know if you want to call it sloppy, careless, lazy, or a combination of all of them. I stand in here every now and then, and I make my practice swing. And what is the whole purpose of a good practice swing? What do I say every time about practice swings? Set up properly and make a proper swing, because you want to feel the swing that you're going to use for the shot you want to hit. And then once you feel that swing, when you step up to the ball, you then swing that feel. Well, I've been making sloppy practice. I've still been making sloppy practice swings, and every now and then getting in there and hitting a poor shot. And it's just because of the fact I didn't do it right in my setup and set the right positions. Tended to get in my set and practice swings and still make too much of a neutral hips up and down, where I'm just kind of standing too. The weight's almost back to my heels. So now I'm really trying to focus. I'm going to take my practice swing. It has to be perfect posture, perfect practice swing, to feel the perfect swing, so that then you can swing the perfect feel. So I get in that posture, and the key is I got to make sure that I really get my hips out, get in this posture, make my practice swing, so then I can just step up, get in the proper posture, hips out, make sure I'm here, and just hit a dead solid straight, right down the middle or right on the green. And the more fairways and greens you hit, the better your scores are going to be, and you start shooting those lower scores, and you'll feel really good about your golf game. So that's it for the Surge for today on perfect posture. Helps you hit more perfect shots to shoot those much better scores. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.